Hello, and welcome back to Ask a LinkedIn Girly. Today, I want to talk a little bit about signature series. I want to talk about one, like my personal experience with why I'm leaning more into signature series and the specific series that I'm thinking about doing. Do a little bit of brainstorming live in action, talk about plans for that. And I also want to talk a little bit about why I think that signature series are such a good option for busy people to stay consistent posting on LinkedIn. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with my experience. I personally feel like for the past 2 weeks, I would say especially this past week, I have been operating at like 0% capacity for my own personal content. I've gotten so busy and life has been so crazy. I have not had time to put any brain power into my content, which is a big shift because last fall I really felt like I did have it in me to be crafting posts from scratch every single day. And I was like, this is what's feeling good to me. This is what's feeling authentic. I don't really want to plan posts too far in advance. I don't want to have too much of a strategy. I just want to show up and say what's on my mind for the day. But now that I'm actually really busy and I don't have time to put that level of thought and creation into creating a post every day, better yet, even every week, it's just a completely different ballgame. It's a completely different ballgame. So I'm very quickly realizing that I need to have a pretty thorough plan to keep myself afloat, really, because I'm so busy right now that if if I don't know exactly what to do, if I wake up and I all I see is like post on LinkedIn today, which is what I used to do. I used to just make a note to myself on my calendar, post on LinkedIn. That was it. And now I'm like, oh, I can't think of the topic. I can't think of I just don't have it in me to come up with a concept and then write it. And I just don't have it in me. So that changes things. And what I'm thinking will be helpful is actually having like signature series that I can lean on, things that I know in my mind, like, okay, on Monday I do this. Like on Monday I post about coffee. That's not what it's gonna be, but on Wednesday I post about the hat I wore today. I don't even wear hats, but like just knowing what I'm gonna post about kind of on each day, roughly week to week, and having these signature series that I can just tap into, I feel like will make life a lot easier. Like Ask a LinkedIn Girly, I know in my mind that I want to post one of these episodes at least once a week, and I kind of have not missed. I've missed maybe 1 or 2 weeks since I started this series. So I know that it works for me to know what I'm supposed to do and do it. Like if I know what I'm supposed to do, I can do it. But when I'm going into every day inventing what I'm supposed to do, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Like it's just different seasons of capacity. Like sometimes you do have it in you to show up and pour your heart out onto the internet every day because you're relaxed and you're in a good place and you feel like you have the time. And maybe it's like it is really a priority during that season of your life. And then there are other times where your own account isn't your priority and you're focused on other things, and it can be life things or business things. Like it's just sometimes we just don't have the capacity. And so for these like low capacity seasons, I think that leaning into signature series is where it's at. I see so much resistance when I say this. I think there's a misconception that creating a whole signature series is a huge ordeal and that it takes even more time and energy than just regular posting. I feel like the reaction I see from people is like, okay, I just said I was busy and now you want me to create a whole signature series? Like, that's so counterintuitive. That sounds so much more complicated than just posting free for all. But no, I really, really do think that the signature series thing actually makes life easier, and it just depends how you go about it. Like when it comes to creating a signature series, I think it's important to choose topics that are easy, that come naturally to you, things that you know you can do consistently. Like you're not saying, okay, every week I'm going to publish a novel, a 900-page novel about a new scientific exploration. I can't hold myself to that. So it's just being intentional. And then I think also, my personal opinion is sometimes it helps, it takes the pressure off to just know in your own mind what you expect from the series and how you're structuring it, and not actually even necessarily share it with your audience, your community. Like, for example, I've known this whole time that I try to post an Ask a LinkedIn Girly episode at least once a week. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. I don't think I've ever said, like, you can expect weekly episodes from me, because I don't want that pressure. You know, it's like I put enough pressure on myself. I don't need that out there in the world. So yeah, I think there are just ways that you can take the pressure off and have signature series be like a supportive structure instead of a high pressure building out an entire new arm, new leg of your brand. It doesn't need to be that deep. And I've said this before, I think I talked about this last episode. The visual aspect of all of this, I just don't think it's as important as maybe it once was. So you don't need to like be creating these perfect carousels every week. Again, with what I said about like choosing easy options for your series. If it's creating a 10 slide carousel where you're making the entire graphic from scratch, I don't think that that's for most people. If you have other things going on, that's not really attainable to do every single week. And so what I'm getting at here is you don't need to be making these like perfect graphics, and the visuals can come later. Like you can just start, just make it, and if it really catches on, then you can add some branding to it. Okay? That is like my kind of philosophy around signature series. I feel like, to me, signature series work way better than content pillars, which content pillars are fine. And sometimes I talk about content pillars. I've used content pillars. There's so many different ways to go about content pillars. But in my opinion, content pillars can be pretty abstract and it's not practical. Like, it's not like, okay, on a daily basis, like, what am I actually posting? Where a signature series is, Ask a LinkedIn Girly is a signature series. And so I know once a week I'm grabbing this mic and I'm talking about LinkedIn and I'm talking about content strategy. I'm talking about creative direction. I'm talking about B2B. I know what I'm doing. I know what to expect. All right, with that being said, let's talk about what I'm currently thinking will be my new signature series. We're workshopping here. This is very much in the brainstorming phase. This is coming from a place of pure desperation right now because, yeah, all week I was just watching the days go by without me posting. Meanwhile, posting is the number one thing that I want to be doing. And I could have opened with this at the beginning of the episode because the like premise to all of this also is that I really do want to be posting more and I want to be showing up more on social media and I want to be doing content creation more and more because I am not where I want to be in my career, which is a crazy realization to have. And it's okay. It's not like I'm in the worst position ever, but I have realized over the past couple weeks, even like the past month, that I'm not where I want to be in my career. I'm just not. And that is just a fact. I don't hate where I am. Like I think I'm proud of a lot of the things that I've done. But to be honest, what I really want in my career is more creative freedom. I want a little bit more, like I want to feel a little bit more stable. I want to feel like my my value prop is like crystal clear and like I have leverage. And then also, yeah, I really want more like creative liberty. I want to be able to step into this creative director role that's more empowered. I hope this is making sense. Like, I want to work on cool creative projects. I want new opportunities. Like, I want to do new things. For me right now, it's not really about wanting to actually make more money. That's really like, that would be great. Don't get me wrong. But that's actually not even necessarily my priority right now. It's just, I want to feel like I have more freedom and more cool opportunities coming in. Like, I think it would be cool, not that I'm fully pivoting to work in like film, but it would be cool to work on a project in film. I think it'd be cool to like dabble in producing. It would be cool to dabble in advertising. Not that I'm completely pivoting to commercials or advertising or film, but it would be cool to be able to dabble. And right now, I feel like I don't have the proof that I deserve to dabble, to be honest. So all that to say, I really want to like build out my content bank, build out my presence, show how I think, show my creative strategy and my abilities, and yeah, kind of just build myself up on social media, on LinkedIn specifically. When I say social media, I'm talking about LinkedIn. And I want to do that so that I open myself up to more opportunities, is what I'm after right now. And that's different than what it's been in the past. In the past, it's been like, oh, I want to make kind of more stable income. I want to attract more clients. At this point, I'm really just trying to kind of prove myself out here. I'm kind of just trying to grow my presence and grow my, I don't like this word, but I would say thought leadership. Ugh, puked in my mouth saying that. I want to show that I deserve more opportunities. I want to open myself up to more opportunities for fun, creative stuff, really, is what I'm after. I want more excitement in my career, and I guess I want to be respected as a strategist. Like, to be honest, right now, I think I have a hard time articulating my value because a lot of you guys know this, but my start was like how I got started in my entrepreneurial career was starting this tiny social media agency. And it's such a bizarre thing because I'm young and I feel like my background and everything that I do puts me somewhere between like creative director, creative strategist, content strategist, thought leader, brain, content creator, which is what I want. But it puts me somewhere between that and social media manager, marketing assistant. Like, I feel like I bobble between chief marketing officer and intern because I have this high level experience, but then also I'm young and I don't have that many years under my belt. I don't have decades of work experience. So it's just it's a weird balance. And I don't know. Anyways, okay, sorry. I feel like I'm ranting. Um, yeah, where was I even going with this? Mm. Here are my signature series that I want to do. We have Ask a LinkedIn Girly, the episode once a week. I want to continue to do that, and for once a week, an episode. What I've been actually slowly, subtly doing, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but on LinkedIn, I have been posting the episode, and then a few days later, I will post basically a written version of the episode or a written version of one aspect of the episode. So that's the thing. So, okay, this series, like in my mind, I can say, okay, one series is the episodes. Once a week, I post an episode. Then once a week, I post a written version of the episode. So that's like the other series is like the written Ask a LinkedIn Girly, the episode recap, which I usually post as a LinkedIn article. Okay, so we got one live. I'm posting these as lives. Most of these aren't even lives anymore. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but it has to do with the tech. If that bothers you guys, let me know and I can figure out how to be live for real. But I've been recording these ahead of time and then publishing them as live so that they show up in my event page, which is where I keep the show. It's a tech thing. Let's not even get into it. If it bothers you guys, if you really want me live, answering comments live, we can work on it. But I just figured it really didn't make much of a difference. So anyways, okay, so I have the lives, and then I have the articles once a week. Now, what else are we going to post to my page? What else are we going to post for content each week? Here's what I'm thinking. Last week, I was answering some questions for, I don't know if you guys know, brand strategist Jamie Cox. She's featuring me in a newsletter, and she had written out some questions for me, and one of them was like, hey, if you want to show us how you work, why don't you audit my profile? So Jamie was saying, why don't you audit my profile real quick and give me some thoughts and feedback? And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. Did it? It was so fun. It was so fun. Something about writing, oh, here's what I recommend for here's a potential signature series that you could do. Here's what you could do with the content that you currently have. It was just fun. I think I could do maybe once a week, maybe bi-weekly, either a profile audit or a series of content ideas for a specific person. So I feel like I could have you guys submit your profile, and then say you are a copywriter. I could say the title slide would be what I'd post as a copywriter, or how I'd change my profile as this copywriter, and signature series I'd do if I was a copywriter. And then I can be like, yeah, here's Amy, and she usually posts about, her cafe visits, and I feel like she could tie that into copywriting by maybe making the caption a little bit longer and highlighting the techniques that she's using. Just kind of going in and showing. I could do profile audits. I actually think what would be more interesting and fun for me would actually be content ideas, signature series ideas for each person and type of work, rather than profile audits, because I feel like profile audits are a little bit dry. It's oh, put who you serve and how you serve them in your headline. I feel like the actual content that you're doing on an ongoing basis, there's more room for creativity and flexibility. It's a little bit more fun. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some profile audits, maybe I'll do content ideas, maybe I'll do signature series recommendations for people. But I don't know. Basically, people submit, I tell them what to do, and I post that publicly in a carousel or something. That's one idea. 2, this I took from other people. I've seen some people on LinkedIn posting things I've saved this week. So easy. And I save things all the time. So they say things I've saved this week, and then screenshot other people's posts, tag them. That's it. That's literally it. Which is great, because I save stuff on LinkedIn all the time, and I genuinely feel like I always want to share it with you guys. I always want to be look at what this person said. So this is fun for me. That's easy, it's fun, it's good. And then last, I think this is something that I don't know if I would do weekly or maybe bi-weekly, but I want to do more member spotlights on the people in the LinkedIn Girlies Lounge. So maybe you saw recently I wrote an article about Anisha, who's in the LinkedIn Girlies Lounge, and she's amazing. And I really enjoyed making that. So I think it could be cool to highlight the members because, one, it's kind of like a member benefit. They get the visibility from me shouting them out. 2, it brings attention to the lounge, and it makes people see oh, there are cool people in the lounge. I kind of want to join the lounge, because I do still want more people to join the lounge, as long as they're cool people, which if you like the people that I'm highlighting, then I feel like we would all get along. I don't know. And yeah. So anyways, those are the series that I'm thinking of right now. I don't have a cadence picked out. I haven't really fleshed out exactly what I want to do, but just saying it out loud just now was actually really helpful. I think instead of profile audits, I will do more content ideas, because that's just what I enjoy more. So if you want me to give you content ideas or signature series recommendations, comment or DM me and let's get the ball rolling. I think we've got ourselves a signature series right here. I think we've got ourselves a new content pillar. And yeah, I think just having these things fleshed out of like, these are the 4 types of posts that I make every week will be so helpful for me. So I'm not freeballing every single week. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for today. I hope to see you guys soon. I hope that this was interesting. Okay, mini rant here. I do want to like give a little mini rant here, thing that I've been thinking about. Okay, the rise of AI, right? I'm seeing people saying educational content is dead because now instead of consuming like a 20-minute video, we're instead asking AI, like we're asking ChatGPT, how do I create a signature series? So basically, instead of listening to little old me talk about how to create a signature series, you might just be asking AI, for better or for worse. That's what's happening for a lot of people. So educational content is apparently on the decline, which means, what does that leave us with? I think it leaves us with personal content, right? And it just makes me wonder, like a lot of my favorite creators who talk about content creation and personal branding and all those things, those people who I really look up to, a lot of my favorite creators have been talking about how they're going to start incorporating more personal tidbits into their work and how they're going to be less and less educational, less and less tutorial, less and less how to, less and less tips and tricks, and more personal stories, opening up unique perspective. And that's kind of the standard recommendation for how to AI proof your content. For myself, I've been wondering, what does this look like? It comes at an interesting time because I've been wanting to be a little bit more personal despite the AI stuff. I've been wanting to talk more about kind of my life and where I'm at, like emotionally, and updates and what's actually going on for me, instead of just here's what you should do. And it's interesting because I feel like, for example, if the message is, say the message of today is you should start a signature series, it will make your life easier. If I sit here and say you should start a signature series, it will make your life easier, versus, hey, I'm starting a signature series, I think it will make my life easier, here's what I'm doing. Which one is more well received? I kind of think it's the latter. It's just really interesting. And I've noticed that with my videos, with every episode, the more that the title is about me and my personal experience, like if I say, I'm crashing out, my content plan, here's what I'm doing, it tends to perform a lot better than when I say, let's plan your content, here are my, or like here's, I don't know, anything that's more like directional. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And it kind of is coming at a good time because, like I said, I've been wanting to talk more about my own personal experience. It comes naturally. It's so easy. It's easy for me to get here and be like, yeah, this week's been crazy. I feel like I have no brain power left. Instead of just giving you guys a whole webinar about like, here's what you should do, best practices, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Are webinars dead? Are workshops dead? I don't think so. They're still happening, but will they be dead? I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting. Yeah, where was I going with this though? Oh, but the thing about the personal tidbits and the personal aspect is ultimately this is happening on LinkedIn. Also, I guess sometimes I struggle to see the value. Like baseline content 101 is kind of you're supposed to give clear value to your audience. If I'm just here talking about how I'm stressed out this week, or I'm here telling you a crazy story about an interaction that I had with a client, or who knows, is that helpful? Is that value? And then what is the value? Is the value, entertainment? Is that the value? Or is it education delivered through entertainment? I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. Like, also, when you're telling a story, something else I've been thinking about. If you're telling a story, like if I'm telling a story about my life, is it effective and strategic to tell the story with a message in mind? Or do you just tell the story and let people create their own message and their own conclusion? Like, I'm a part of a speaking club, and whenever I'm preparing for a speech and I'm looking up kind of best practices, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to tell this story about this crazy thing that happened. And it's like, well, there needs to be a message. And I'm kind of like, well, can't people like pull their own message and their own meaning from it? Like, I don't really feel like I should shove my own message down people's throats. I feel like I should just tell my story and you get to decide the meaning and what you take from it. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say? But, anyways, that's really all I have. All I have is questions. I have no answers. All questions, no answers. Maybe next week. That's all I have for today. I will talk to you guys very soon, and hopefully you will see some of these signature series I'm planning start to pop up on the feed. But in the meantime, enjoy your week.